Hello people, welcome to ProUp Masterclass. My name is Tola Alabi, and in today's class I'm going to be talking about why I came back from Canada, why I came back to Nigeria from Canada. Now I had my undergraduate education in Nigeria in Obafemi Awolowo University, where I studied architecture, after which I studied in Canada. I did my postgraduate in computer interactive multimedia, and I worked for about a year in Canada and came back to Nigeria. Now, when I came back to Nigeria, I realized that a lot of people were confused, to say the least, by my decision to come back. And the question I got asked the most was, why did you come back? And a lot of people felt I wasted a golden opportunity to leave Nigeria for good. And the reason why I'm making this content is for that young person today that feels a burden to get out of Nigeria. Now, that is not bad. Now, I'm by no means judging anyone that relocates out of Nigeria. I'm not saying that's a bad decision. No. Sometimes it might be the best decision you make for your life, relocating out of Nigeria. But then it has to be your decision, not a decision that you are pressured into making because every other person is making that decision. Relocation is a serious decision. It's a decision you make out of a sense of deep emotional intelligence, knowing yourself, knowing what's best for you, knowing where is best for you, and making a decision based on that, not based on herd mentality. Now, I'll tell you why I came back from Canada. It was a very easy decision for me to make. It wasn't a tough decision at all. A lot of people think it was a tough decision. It wasn't. It was a very easy decision. I came back from Canada simply because I wanted more. I wanted more out of life. A lot of people do not understand when I say I wanted more because they feel Canada offers more. But for me, it didn't. A lot of people see more as good internet supply, fast internet, good roads, steady power supply, water, no insecurity. That is more for some people, but that wasn't more for me. And that's why I talked about emotional intelligence, knowing what your values are and making your decision based on what your values are. It doesn't matter what the majority is saying. I wanted more. I wanted more for my life. I wanted to have more impact. I wanted to be part of more people's success stories. I wanted more, and I couldn't get more in Canada. Now, it's hard to explain. Some people would say, oh, I don't understand what Tola is talking about here. He's just being ridiculous. Does he know how hard Nigeria is? Yes, I do. But then I've been to both sides. And I would say for me, Canada wasn't a good fit. It's a great place. It's a wonderful country, wonderful people. Great place. Awesome. But it wasn't for me. Because very early on in my life, I was forced to ask myself a very serious question, and a question that seems like a morbid question that people veer away from and don't ask themselves. And the question is the question of how do I want to be remembered when I die? A lot of people think of how they want to live life, but don't think of how they want to be remembered when they die. And I spent a lot of time thinking about that. And I thought of it. I said I don't want my obituary to read he died with fast-speed internet, good roads, had good food, in a safe environment. That didn't seem like the kind of life or legacy I wanted to be remembered for. I didn't want to be remembered as he lived a convenient life and he enjoyed life. He lived in a place where the weather was good and the government was good, and he enjoyed the benefits of that. I wanted to remember as someone that helped people to get through their difficult circumstances. Now, whether that's personal circumstance or business circumstance or finding their purpose, I wanted to be in as many people's stories as possible. I wanted to connect with people. I want to live an audacious life. And Canada didn't allow me to do that. And I'll tell you, the only way I can explain this is I didn't feel free in Canada. I felt restrained. And a lot of people in Nigeria might not understand this. I feel people abroad might really understand this. When you leave Nigeria and you go to another country that is not a country of your birth, or a country where it's not a place of your nationality, there is a feeling of restraint that comes upon you, upon most people. Some people might not feel that way, but a lot of people do. And I can only liken it to spending time or going for holiday or going to live with an uncle or a relative who is very well to do. He has a mansion, great environment. They have good food, good entertainment. The house is massive. They have a pool. Your room is bigger than your room in your father's house. But you have to go and stay with that uncle for a period of time. Now, no matter how rich or comfortable your uncle is, or how nice he is, very few of us will feel as comfortable as we would feel in our parents' house. You see, your uncle might tell you, feel at home, feel comfortable. But when you are sitting on that chair and stretching your leg out across the couch, and your uncle walks in, a lot of you will adjust yourself again. And your uncle will say, no, feel comfortable, don't worry, I'm right here. But you know, no matter how much he says feel comfortable, you realize that you are not his child. So you might enjoy these things, but you still feel like you're enjoying it with one arm tied behind your back. Unlike in your father's house or most people's parents' house, you feel more comfortable. You see, you realize that this is your father's house. It might be smaller, but you feel freer. That was exactly how I felt in Canada. I felt like I was walking on eggshells. Everything came down to, don't do this, don't do this, don't do this. It might work against you, it might work against you, it might work against you staying, it might work against your papers, it might work against this, and I just couldn't live life like that. I couldn't live life like that. I wanted more. I wanted to be more audacious. I wanted to be more audacious about reaching out to people, about doing what I wanted to do. It was just a bit too structured for me. But that came out of a knowledge of knowing who I was and what I wanted out of life. So before you fill those forms and pack those bags and go, you want to really ask yourself what you want out of life. What are your values? You see, I have a lot of friends who are in Canada right now and they're comfortable. They're comfortable with the 9 to 5. They're comfortable with average. They're comfortable with that average. Oh, there's enough food for me and my family and we are good and that's good enough. And I really don't care if any other person knows me or any other person feels I'm impacting their life. As long as my family is comfortable, that is good. And we are safe, that is good. For some people, those are their values and they are cool with living abroad. For me, I want more. I want to impact more than my family. I want to benefit more than my kids and my wife. I want to be remembered by way more people. So I'm willing to overlook all those inconveniences that Nigeria poses, and they are quite a number. But for me, the purpose of relevance and being a part of as many people's success story as possible outweighs the insecurity, outweighs the erratic power, outweighs the bad governance, outweighs all that. I live for that obituary moment. What it would read. That is what I live for. And I guess we should all try to ask ourselves what we live for. That will allow you to make more conscious decisions. So before you pack those bags, before you fill that form, before you write that exam, think about it. Is that really what you want for your life? And I want to challenge everyone to do what it is that they feel works for their life. I know some people would ask, so why couldn't you do what you're doing now from Canada? Why couldn't you work remotely? You understand? Do you have to come back to Nigeria to set up ProUp Masterclass and set up your design company and consult from Nigeria? You can consult with companies from Canada and work with designers from Canada and work remotely. But the truth is, it's different. And I think when people say that you don't need to be in Nigeria to connect with Nigerians, I think they oversimplify what a connection is. And it's hard to explain. But I think one of the closest things I can relate it to, because I'm a person of faith, is saying, Jesus Christ could have solved the problem of humanity from heaven. Why did he have to come down? But he had to come down because he had to connect. That was the strongest way of connecting with humans, by becoming human and facing their reality with them and looking into their eyes and touching them. There's a difference. You see, it's more than content. It's a connection. And it's an incredible feeling that I feel, a feeling of fulfillment that I feel every time somebody comes into Abuja and says, Mr. Tola, I just need to meet with you. I've been listening to your content and it has really helped me, and I just want to meet with you for 30 minutes or an hour. And I meet with them and I shake them and I hug them and they ask for a photograph. It is different. It's just a different experience. It's something you cannot do remotely. It's a different level of connection. And the truth is that when you leave Nigeria and you relocate, whether to Canada, to the UK, to India, wherever it is, you see, the challenges change. The challenges change. So you not only leave Nigeria behind, you take on the challenges that the culture of that place has to deal with every day. And the truth is, for you to make content and consult for Nigerians, then you have to be in that challenge. You have to constantly be in that challenge to be able to identify with it. Or else you'll be making what seems like textbook content. You are trying to imagine what it's like, but it's different when you are in it. And that's why when you go to Canada, your challenges change. What you start thinking about changes. And that's why a lot of people start thinking about taxes, and start thinking about, all those paying of taxes and other things that has to do with governance in that area that you might be in. So the challenges change. So what you concentrate on a daily changes. And that makes it hard for you to create content or to connect with people that are not within that geographical area where you are facing those challenges. And So I think the long and short of it is, it's not a bad thing to relocate. But as I said earlier, it has to be your decision. It has to come from a place of deep and strong emotional intelligence, of asking yourself, what makes you different? What are your unique values? And if your unique values thrive better in Nigeria, then don't make the mistake of going abroad and living an unfulfilled life. You will be comfortable but very unfulfilled. And if your unique values align with living abroad, then by all means go. Don't stay in Nigeria, because you will live an unfulfilled, frustrated life. Even if you have a lot in Nigeria, even if you are living a life of opulence in Nigeria, if they don't align with your inner values, then you'll be unfulfilled and you'll be unhappy. So the long and short of it is, make the decision based on, let it be your decision, let it be based on your values, let it be based on deep thinking and asking yourself deep questions. And I do hope that at the end of the day, people make more conscious decisions that allows them to be more impactful at the end of the day.